Welcome to the Market Main podcast. My name is Mike Peters. I'm your host today. We're here live from Miami in the Marriott Hotel or Marriott Resort, I have to say, at the 10X Business Bootcamp. And today on the show are Nathaniel Kolwyck, the investor of Martindale Chevy in New Madrid in Missouri, and Jared Brewer, who is the sales manager and marketing manager of that company. Welcome to the show, guys.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So the only reason like I talked to you, Nathaniel, was yesterday when on Friday you raised your hand when people asked like who's spending more than 100K per year in marketing, and both of you were like, yeah, easy. So tell me a little bit more about that. It's like, what is that money? What's the total budget of a car dealership right now in Missouri, and what's the total budget, and where's the budget going to?
Our total budget's about $150,000 a year. An average car dealership size as well is around $300,000 and $400,000. We kind of backed off a little bit a couple years ago, but we're actually ramping everything up now. So our new projection for 2023 is about $300,000. Is where we're going to.
And where's all that money going to? Like, are you still going on strong on TV ads?
So we just did a deal for TV ads it's $1,900 a month, and it's gonna run about 75 TV ads, 75 30-second TV ads.
Okay.
So,
And like, how many eyeballs is that getting you in front of?
it's based on the last one we did. Um, I don't know a total number, but based on each ad is probably gonna be 60 to 70,000 people probably watching
Okay, so like for each ad, right?
for each ad. Yeah.
So then that brings it up to like times 75. That's
Mm-hmm.
a few 100,000 people.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
correct. Yeah.
But they're like untargeted, right? Like, what's the is a
Exactly.
it's just local, like anyone, right?
Right. So we're in a rural area. So there's one local news station, unlike, some of your larger places have five or six. There's one local news station that it tells the news, and that's the one that's where we're running our ads on. It's a CBS station.
Okay.
And they will run during, mainly they will run during like the morning show, breakfast show they call it, and the evening news. And there's a few ads that got to run late at night. It's kind of part of the package.
Okay. So, but
Um,
like how far is that a monthly package then? Like
um,
75
so
ads, like that's 1 month.
so what I do is I like to blast as much as I can all at once. I don't 75 actually ads spread over a month isn't that many.
Right.
I like to narrow it down to within maybe a 10 to 12 day window of the month.
Okay.
And that's when I want all those ads to run. If I could choose 2 days to run 75 ads, if they let me do that, I would do that.
Okay. I mean,
I would
that's
do,
like more like in your face kind of
yeah.
exposure. And then how often do you run campaigns like that?
Uh, we'll do that every of the TV part. We just got back into that because, like we were discussing a little bit earlier, you know, 15 years ago was probably the last time the dealership ran a TV ad, and they were $700, $600 for one 30-second ad.
Yeah.
And everybody's moving away from TV and stuff like that. Everybody's getting their news from their phone. So we're like, we didn't even. The TV people would come by. They would say, "Call us," and I'd be like, "Yeah," and take their business card. I'd toss it.
Yeah.
But but I just had the perception it was too expensive, and then they finally pitched us a number, and I was like, we both were in the pitch meeting. We were like, okay, we might think about that. And the guy left, and we were like, I can't believe they're that cheap for those ads.
Right. But like,
Because the perception was that TV is super expensive.
yeah, well, it was
It
because it
was.
was relevant, and it's not relevant anymore. But isn't that a red flag to you too? Like, I'm just like, like feeling you out here. It's like, for me, I would be like, oh my God, I wouldn't do that. If TV makes it cheap, that means like no one is watching anymore. And then also like when it comes back to targeting, right? We have to see like who still watches local TV channels, right?
Older
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 people.
people. Yeah.
Are those the people that buy trucks from you?
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's in our rural area, we have to do what we can to capture all ages, and this dealership was known as an older dealership, and a lot of their older people they had ran off and people had forgotten about because they'd pulled those TV ads.
Right.
And I don't believe one ad gets anybody in the door.
Right.
I believe maybe 10 ads delivered through 10 different mediums maybe gets them in.
Right. I mean, like it takes about 7 touches until you
Right,
like
sure.
recognize.
If you see it on your phone, then you look up and see it in your TV, and you're like, "Oh wow, something must be going on in Martindale."
Okay, so
You know,
what else are you doing? Let's look. One part is like TV ads, and you say you just got back into it. So we're talking about roughly $2,000 for like 75
yeah.
ads, and you're probably gonna run like I don't know 3 campaigns a month for that, right? In order to be like stay there all the time.
Hmm.
That's 6,000 a month. But what else are you gonna do? Are you doing running any PPC ads like on Facebook or on Google or any of the other platforms?
So we spend what I think is a lot with Facebook. We spend probably close to 2,000 a month on Facebook. We do the carousel ads. We have a TV, or well, not TV, a video person, content creator comes in, creates video content for us on Facebook, and we run ads on those. Do boost campaigns on those. Boost a lot of posts. Um, we've just been working on increasing our followers. Um, we do a lot of Auto Trader. That's a huge medium for us. AutoTrader.com, CarGurus.com. When I first came onto the dealership, they were spending $99 a month on the internet, and that was paying for the website.
Right.
And it looked like a 99-cent website. It did. It looked bad. So now we're paying almost 2,000 a month for our website,
Okay.
and it looks like one of the best websites there is. I mean, it looks like the dealerships that we talk about paying $300,000 and $400,000 a year in ads, and I've worked at places like that. Um, we don't spend right now much on SEM or SEO with Google because I've got us so organically searched on there. When try the search, we have people looking at us. They're finding us anyway.
Right.
We're all over the first page.
I,
Nobody.
I don't think like I don't think SEO is dead or anything, but I don't think it's as relevant anymore because
I don't either. Yeah.
the thing is this, like you rank way better well, like through other pages anyways, meaning
Right.
like if you have a LinkedIn presence, if you have a Facebook presence and all that kind of stuff,
Hmm.
there's no way you're going to rank better than those companies.
Right.
So if you have a presence there and you always like share pictures and videos and all that kind of stuff,
Hmm.
I think you'll rank way higher on page one, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Than with anything else. Like I mean, if you Google my name, the first thing that pops up is my LinkedIn profile, right?
Sure. Yeah.
It's my name and it's my company name and all
Yeah.
there. Like there's pictures of me. There's videos.
Free of charge too.
Right.
Right.
Nothing.
And I I used to think SEO, SEM, that was something car dealers thought you had to do, was to get in that bidding war on Google. And I actually ended up reading a report and being part of a Zoom call where it was the focus on dealerships spending 90 grand a month on Google AdWords, SEO, SEM. And they did two different third party kind of audits of that. And they found that 97% of those people of that $90,000 spend would have found them anyway.
Right. I mean, like, right, because they're looking for a car. They're probably already made up their
Right.
mind what they're
Yeah.
gonna buy, especially when it comes to new cars, right?
Sure.
A little bit different with like used ones. They're looking for a deal. They're looking for something that they want. But with used cars, especially if you're like shopping around in your local areas, it's always a gamble. It's like, is something that I want available, and is it available in the way I want it, right?
Sure.
But with new cars, they're already sold. They already know what they want. It's like, I want a truck, or I want this or that, and then they go for it. I mean, that's like what we talked about yesterday. It's like the buyer already made a decision. You know, it's
Oh yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
about the deal now. It's not anymore about the product. They already made the decision.
They teach us in the car business that I think it's this is more so too when people used to go, like they said yesterday, from dealership to dealership. Even when they did that, it was, I think, 85% buyers had made up their minds before they left the house if they were going to come home with a car that day.
Right.
So I mean, if you closed them, you were closing somebody you already made a decision to buy most of the time.
Uh-huh.
Um, you know what what we've been working on and are working on right now is building our online presence through online marketing to compete with like Carvana and stuff like that. Where we're gonna within the next 60 days, what we're gonna have is online is we're gonna have the you're gonna have the ability to go online and buy the vehicle without ever talking to me if you don't want to talk to me.
Okay. Well, that's
Without
good.
ever coming to the dealership, without ever talking to a salesperson. You don't want to talk to us? Fine. You can buy it and we'll ship it to you and you never have to hear from us. Never have to have a sales touch. You input all your information. It walks you through step by step. Does it same way Carvana, Vroom,
Yep. I mean, they
Zoom.
pretty much paved the way for you guys. I mean, this is like, minimizing also like, commission payments and stuff like that. If you can make it that you're an online, store for cars, right? If you're like, hey, you know what, I ship it to you, just I'm right in your face, and I backed this up was like retargeting ads and stuff like that. There you
Hmm.
go. That's the whole deal. It's like, you know, when you when you figure this out for yourself, you have payments and all that kind of stuff up there. You run the credit in the background. All that kind of stuff is handled automatically.
Hmm.
You don't have to have a person there anymore. Even like someone that writes up the loan, everything can be automated. There you go.
Oh yeah, it's and if that's what people want, basically what our thing to do, what my job in the car business, I've worked at several car dealerships, and what we try to do in the marketing wise, anything is we try to convey to the buyer that we're the easiest place to buy a car from,
Yeah,
because the number one complaint people have about buying a car, and it has been the same complaint for 30 plus years, is that it takes too
it's the
long.
process.
It's the
It's the
process,
process.
and that it's inconvenient and it takes too long. And everybody, whether they come to the dealership or just deal with us online, they all say the same thing. They go, "This is the easiest car buying experience I've ever had." And we're like, "Well, that's exactly what the experience we want you to have."
Yeah,
Because we do not, there's no need for us to keep you there for 5 hours while we wear you down and you end up buying the car and you're so upset that you're never going to buy from there again. And that was how I was initially trained, how you got to do it in the car business.
like keep them in.
Oh yeah, keep
It's
them in the
awful.
box, wear them down. uh you get worn down, they get worn down. It's an unpleasant process
Yeah,
for
it is
everybody.
it's very unpleasant. I just last year I bought a truck like a Ford. It was awful. It was exactly that. I was like, and like later I talked to the salesperson because I'm the one I am. It's like I'm into that, right?
Hmm.
He's like, man, I didn't know if I could close you or not. I was like, I could not read you at all. I was like, hey, you know what? You didn't sell me the car. I sold myself the car. I just I just hated the process.
Right.
I was just sitting there. I was like, you're wasting my time. I have a business to run. So that's the kind of thing where I was like, man, this is awful. Next time I send someone else, but I have to do all the signatures, so it's awful. That's absolutely awful. That's the thing. So if you can take that pain away from your customers, you're on the right path. But
Right.
so like talking about all your PPC ads and everything, do you have a way of like tracking performance of that? Do you have actually like a metric to measure your customer acquisition cost and your like customer lifetime value?
Yeah. Well, basically, every single one of these mediums that we use has a back end tool or something that shows you, what kind of traffic views your ads got. Um, you know, of course, I've yet to use many of those that show you that your ads are performing poorly.
Yeah.
Every single performance manager I've ever talked to will call you and say, "You're doing great." Yeah, hey, that's exactly the number we want you to be at. They never want to tell you, "Hey, we ran this ad campaign; it's not doing well."
Well, that's the point. I mean, there's
Yeah,
metrics to that, and that's also like when people come to me, the first question I ask them is like, "Do you know your customer acquisition cost?"
right,
And most people don't. Most people also don't know the lifetime value of a customer. It's like,
right,
okay, so if I do it right, is that person coming back? And then how many cars can I sell them?
right,
So I mean, it's all averages, but the deal is that if you don't know, like, I would not get into a contract with anyone in the marketing world if they don't know their customer acquisition cost. If you don't know, let's find out. Because that's the metric you measure me on. It's like if I can't lower that cost, then I'm not doing my job. Because that's the whole deal. It's like marketing. It's like getting the cost of acquiring new customers down.
Ours is about $700 per customer.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that's like you spend $700 in average to get one person in the door that actually signs up.
correct.
So and that is for new cars only, or also for the
That's for new and used. Yeah,
new end users.
that's just
Okay.
customer acquisition costs. With we have to do it that way because right now new inventory is probably 3 years ago we would separate the two because 3 years ago you didn't make any money off new, you made just a little bit, and you made most of your money off used, so you'd want to separate the two.
Yeah.
Now you actually you're probably making about the same on new and used due to the
Okay.
limited inventory. You don't have to
But is it
go to
still the case?
imports.
Because like I saw the limited inventory, and
Hmm.
we work for automotive OEMs with my other company, right?
Hmm.
We're like in the plants, we see what's going on, right? And
Hmm.
there were a lot of like shutdowns because there were like chips missing and stuff like that
Hmm.
that like led to this like inventory shortage. But
Absolutely.
man, when I right around now, no matter where I'm going, like all of the lots are full. Like no matter where I'm going, it's like is that different up there in Missouri?
Absolutely different. We have zero new right now
Really?
on the lot, and we have tons ordered. In fact, in the next 40 days, for actually stock units, we've got several sold units already coming in. We're only going to have 3 stock units that are coming in, and I guarantee you they will not sit on the lot longer than 72 hours.
Oh wow, that's a very different world up there then.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, we're located in Tennessee. Like all of summer, all lots were empty, like nothing, right?
Hmm.
And now everything is full. And I was just, I travel a lot, throughout the southeast. No matter where I'm going, like all lots are full, new cars everywhere.
But and the manufacturers will fill up the higher volume dealers first, um, and then they will fill up like a rural dealer second.
Okay.
Even though we sell out of our new, and they tell us that's what they GM has told us they'd like us to have a 17-day turn rate on new from the second it hits on the lot, which is actually extremely fast, but in this market should be very doable.
Okay.
The lots that I've seen full around our area are full with used, or with new cars that aren't as desirable, like some of the smaller units, like Chevrolet Trax or like a Jeep Renegade or just some of the smaller CUVs, SUVs,
Uh-huh.
stuff like that.
Okay.
But that's just the way the ones that are full, when you get to look at them, they're used. They're full of used that they paid way too much for.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I don't know where this is going. Are you feeling any like slowdown in the market because of like a recession or anything?
At our dealership, we actually are not. We just came off our best month of the year. Now, when you talk to, I try to talk to as many other dealers as I can, and what I'm hearing is some are having their worst month, and some are like us having our best. I don't see anyone in the middle. I see two totally different ends of the spectrum,
Okay.
and I've been doing this 10 plus years. My dad was in the car business. My stepdad was in the car business. Nathaniel, he grew up in the car business. Nobody has ever seen anything like this, what we're still currently in.
Okay. So that's tough.
We're in
So
unprecedented territory.
from an investor point of view, it's like, is it going good or is it going bad right now? The last few years, is it like
Hey,
bottom line?
bottom line, it's actually going a lot better. It's doing really good actually.
So like the whole like 2020, 2021, 2022 was a benefit for you?
It was because what we did is we went off of TV ads and we put our online presence.
Mm-hmm.
So since we went online presence and we showed the world that we can actually bring the vehicle to you, so we took the dealership, we took our car lot and put it on your computer.
Uh-huh.
Is what we did. So with us doing that, it actually brought customers into us. If we would have been in a stalemate and just stayed on TV or stayed where we were at the current place, we would not have actually had our numbers shot where they went to.
Right.
Because of that, even with our low inventory, but we had what customers were buying. That was the number one thing also in the car business.
Yeah.
Is actually with prices going up the way they are in our area, make sure that you're stocking affordable prices for customers' vehicles.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of like dealerships took advantage of that shortage and just like put the prices way up, that almost no one could afford anymore.
Yeah, we never went above MSRP. Our number one thing is, that's another thing that we looked at it through our dealership, was customer experience and retention of the customer, we value every single customer at about $1 million. Now that's from buying the car, taking it to the service department. If they have a wreck, we have a body shop, taking it to the body shop all the way around, and then the lifetime. So a lifetime of one car customer is worth $1 million. So we don't want that customer to leave.
Right.
They have a bad experience through our dealership, they will leave. That's $1 million walking out the door. So we look at every customer as they are $1 million.
So there you said it. Like you're on top of your game. It's like you know your customer acquisition cost. You know your lifetime value of the customer. That's like most most people don't know. And that's a really bad situation to be in. When you don't know, what your customer acquisition cost and lifetime value is, because then how can you adjust? You know, if you don't have the metrics in place. That's really good. Like I don't hear that very often. I have to say that. It's like I talk to a lot of people about this, and they're like, "Oh, we don't know." That means like I don't care about my business.
Yeah,
That's basically what they say. Is like it's not. Oh, I don't know. This is like that's a trick question. No, you should know that. That's not a trick question. That's telling me if you care about your business or not.
yeah, care about your business, or even if you have team members, how you take care of a customer. If you can't teach your team members what every single customer is valued and they make one mad, they don't care because they're not putting a value to that customer. So by you putting a value to that customer, you're showing your team members every customer that you make upset is $1 million walking out of the door.
Right.
So when you put it to a number perspective, the team member realizes, oh my gosh, I have to take care of every single my customers and make sure I do it with a pleasant experience.
Yeah.
So that's the way we train our team members.
Yeah, that's the only way, I think. It's like that's so important that they understand, okay, what's going on, right? It's like we we build businesses in order to like support everyone, right? It's like it's not only the owners or the investors that make money, it's everyone, right? We support everyone in that, you know. Also the clients in your case, right? You support the clients to like buy a work truck and feed another a few families with that. The whole deal is like way bigger than just, oh, I'll make money and you just work here. That's a really bad situation to be in my opinion.
Yeah.
But how many team members do you have, like salespeople?
We have 27.
Just salespeople?
Well, I'm sorry. No, we're like I said, we're rural dealership. So we have 4 salesmen
Mhm.
is what we have, and then through the whole dealership, we have 27 team members.
So that includes like finance and
Yeah,
mechanics. And all
we're full service dealerships. We got body shop, service department, sales department,
okay, perfect. So,
office staff.
Now we're growing. So what happened is I was telling you when my father took over the dealership back in the '90s, his advertising budget was actually $700,000 a year.
wow.
What his advertising budget was. We really was going good. The economy was rocking and rolling in the '90s. So it was really high. He was doing a really good job. The issue, what happened is where we went down is in 2001. We hit a downturn in the economy, so he had to pull back. And then in 2008, where almost everybody lost everything, he did a good job managing it, but he was so scared because of how much money we lost in 2008. He never was wanting to ramp back up.
Okay.
He got comfortable. He got complacent, right? So when you get comfortable, scared money doesn't make money.
Right.
So what happened is I ventured off and did my own thing, became an investor, started buying property and doing everything else. My mother got sick in 2020. My dad came to me, asked me if I'd take over the dealership. So in my role of what I do now is invest in businesses, find team members that can manage it and take it on. I hired Jared, so we teamed up. So now we're taking the dealership back to its original roots and bringing people to us. So
Yeah.
that's why our numbers were so low, but that's why our numbers are starting to spike back
Yeah,
up.
I love it. Like I love the whole deal where you said, like I wanna be this like one click, maybe not one click, but a few clicks and you have your car and we deliver it to you no matter where you are. So and also like, if you go the route of like, I still don't get why you guys wanting to be back on TV, but even if it's cheap, but the whole deal was like the platforms like Facebook or Instagram, TikTok just launched their ad platform, right?
Yeah.
YouTube, as absolutely a way to be on there, and then also the retargeting functions of that, right? And the targeting functions in particular, also like especially from Facebook, where the target group, for new cars, for new trucks, especially, right? We're talking about people like 35 and up, right?
Yes,
Like
that's correct.
so that is like that's giving it's giving you the tool set that TV will never give you. Because with TV you don't target. You target your local market, or maybe
Sure.
you can, target a few other markets. But like who of those like older demographics are gonna go online and do like a they don't trust the internet.
No. So my thing is this: like, I've worked at several dealerships, and everybody always has their niche of what they do, and they tend to do that one thing really well, and I think that's important. Like, they like. Um, I worked at a dealership. It was about 10 years ago. Now, it was the first dealership I worked at where they spent 60,000 a month on TV ads. Um, and they got a lot of business from it because I mean you're basically that's the only ad they're watching. But they're missing all that online stuff. If we could, if we were just online, there's an older demographic in our rural area that we would be missing, because we wouldn't be on TV, we wouldn't be in their face. So I think it's important that we go into, like, we just got verified as an advertiser on TikTok just last week, I think. So we're gonna do that, get into the TikTok more, get into the YouTube more. We're still gonna pump all those online more. But if TV is caught, it still remains in our budget. I'm gonna do it. We even do a small newspaper ad still. And we still get I mean, it's, I think, $100 a month.
It's $175 a month.
$175 a month for a newspaper ad that runs weekly. Yeah.
Weekly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and it showcases a few cars, and we get, we'll get an old call from Betty's.
Can you track this? How many older people come because of that? Because I mean, like older people are on Facebook too.
So, you leave your tracking onto a lot of it up to the salesperson, and I do sign all the deals still. And just the other day, I was telling that I was signing a deal with a customer. They were online customer. They found our car via our website. That's what I was told. And in having a conversation with them, I discovered that they were lived about 45 miles from us. And they said, we were looking for a car, and our dad said that he used to get mailers from Martindale Chevrolet. Go online and check them out. So they went online. So I'm like, so did the mailer bring him in, or did online bring him
Oh, that's a good question.
in? So that one was kind of like, it's a one-off instance,
Right.
but it was like, wow, a mailer that we haven't done in
7 years. 7 years
years.
since we've done a mailer.
This dad remembered and was like, oh yeah, hey, check them out.
Well, that's okay. So I get that. That's like a really rare case.
Really rare
like,
case, but it's
if
still.
you put this against like I don't know like $20,000 spent on ads, then that's your customer acquisition cost, right?
Sure.
So
Yeah.
it's like okay, in that one instance, right? I send out I don't know how many mailers. I'm not a fan of mailers. But everything that
No, yeah, I'm not
gets
either.
mailed to
Yeah.
me, like
Right. We haven't done, like I said, that's probably the mailer and radio is probably the only two mediums out there that I can think of right now that we're not touching, is mailer and like a radio ad.
right. So well, I mean,
And we do thank you cards, and we're going to start actually doing. I'm a big fan of this. I've seen it. So after someone purchases a car, we're going to send them a tin of cookies in
yeah,
the mail.
something like that.
Yeah, and they're gonna
Send me a pizza.
Send them a pizza. That's right.
yeah,
Like that really like the whole deal there yesterday. I was like,
love that.
sometimes I'm like, okay, so is this real or is this staged? Because it's sometimes like too good to be true. Looking around like, but it's like I think it's real. Like like people actually closed some deals yesterday.
Oh yeah, I
Based
believe.
on like a text. This is great. So the thing is, there's you have to be creative about it. So when if someone wants to reach out to you because you deliver cars, right? Nationwide?
Yes, nationwide. We were just talking the other day. This year so far, and we haven't even got our full online like click mine pack form up. 13 states is what we sold to this year. 13
13.
different states. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, if someone wants to reach you online, what's the website?
MartindaleChevrolet.com, MartindaleChevy.com.
Okay.
That's the best way. Find us on Facebook, Martindale Chevrolet. Twitter, Martindale Chevrolet. TikTok, Martindale Chev.
So here's to everyone that wants to buy a Chevy. Um, never price never goes over MSRP.
That is correct. We are
So and deliver nationwide.
Absolutely.
There's your next Chevy coming from.
our
That's
bottom
right.
line is trust.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. I know we have another day of the conference going on here, and like I said, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it.